Hi everyone, it's Simon here and it's 12th of January. Thanks for watching once again and thanks for supporting the site. As always, the site's kept free of charge by the adverts you see around it here. So thanks to the advertisers for supporting it, thanks to you for clicking on them and going through, thanks to everybody. It's a thank you kind of day. Okay, just a quick one for you today. We've still got some questions over the models and exactly what's going on. This is the 7 to 10 day mean of the 500 millibar flow, running us through from next Thursday through to next Sunday. It's that snapshot that we're looking at on these charts. The UK is under here. Now, ECMWF is on the left here. We've got the GFS on the right. And what I want to point out to you, let me just get it centralised, there we go, is big changes. This here, look, these areas of high heights across the northern parts of Russia into Siberia. What these are doing is pushing this cold air off the pole. It's pushing it south and it's nudging it down into the States and into Europe too. Now, big question mark is, and you can see the difference between these two models. Yes, both have got, look, the centre of these high heights across northern Russia. They've also got this colder area across northern parts of the States into Canada. You can see those centres there. But where they differ is the ridge building through the Atlantic. Look, the ECMWF has the ridge building, the GFS doesn't. So we've got a discrepancy between the two models. The ECMWF is significantly colder. This model would bring snow showers, heavy snow showers at that, right the way southwards through the country, most across Scotland and northwest England, but this would lead to a cold weekend next weekend. The GFS, on the other hand, has high pressure building across the south, jets screaming across the Atlantic, so actually it would bring more unsettled conditions, particularly for Ireland, Scotland and northern England. Maybe a little bit of snow over high ground, but conditions would be milder to the south. Which one do we favour? Well, this is the difficult question. At the moment, and normally I do lean towards the GFS, at the moment I kind of lean towards the ECMWF. At the moment I'm leaning towards the GFS to this one. This fits more in with my pattern where I thought it would go, but what I think will happen is that this colder air will get nudged further south, so the jet will be further south. So I'm going for a more unsettled weekend next weekend. Not as cold as the GFS, not as mild not as cold as the ECMWF, not as mild as the GFS, somewhere in between the two. And I think unsettled, possibly windy as well. We'll see what happens, but that looks to be the way things shape out next week. Of course, we've got some frost to come before that, both tonight, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night and Tuesday night. And just to illustrate that to you, this is the temperature forecast for Birmingham for the next 7 days, and it's the blue colour here that I want to concentrate on. Here's the zero line lying through here, and look, it dips below. There we go. So we get several nights of frosts, look, before it picks up into the middle of next week as the GFS sees that milder air moving its way in. I don't think they'll go quite this high. Red line is the maximum temperatures. Notice too how they tail off, but they do pick up middle of next week. Once again, the usual caveat applies that actually the GFS is overplaying this, I think, and making it a little bit too mild. It's interesting to see actually that while the GFS has made it milder, look, what it's done is, you may remember a few days ago taking the NAO into neutral to negative territory. Well look, it's just nudged it into positive territory now around the 19th, and that would, when would that be? Well, that would take us through the middle part of next week. So this is what it's trying to do, is to make things milder in that period before dropping it into negative areas later on. The Arctic Oscillation though is weak, look, that's still going around the negative to neutral territory, so it's still doing similar with that, and that will allow the colder air to drain south off the pole. As far as the next 7 days are concerned, GFS probably does have it about right, so it's reasonable to look at the temperature charts for the next 7 days, and the anomalies here, look, told you they're going to blues. Here we go, look, just slightly below normal across the British Isles over the next 7 days, really below normal across France and Iberia. Look at this across Central and Southern Europe. They really have had a cold morning, so that cold air just continues across Western Europe, but you can see here out to the east that it's still mild, but these temperatures are set to fall in the following week. As far as precipitation goes, well, It's below normal still, as you'd expect, with a ridge of high pressure through the country through much of the weekend into the beginning of next week. So we've got below normal rainfall through much of the UK, through France, spreading down through Italy into the Balkans. Here over Eastern Europe, there we've got rainfall nearer normal levels. So what we've got to watch over the next couple of days is how things develop through next week into the following weekend, and also see this cold air coming off the pole. If that drains further southwards, then we are in for cooler conditions. But either way, I do still believe that we're heading into a much cooler spell of weather now to take us through to the end of January and into the beginning part of February. What is interesting, and what we're talking about here between myself and Captain Bob, is if the high pressure can get in, as the ECMWF tries to suggest, with that ridge building to the west and gets eastwards, could that block us out for the first 10 days of February? It's a question we're posing to ourselves, one that we're discussing, and as soon as we've got some reasonable answers, I'll let you know. Once again, thanks for watching, and keep the sun shining.